Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and we have the phenomenal, enchanting, and incomparable Diana with us as well. And we were not necessarily impressed with this episode today. Like I said, these two episodes have just been a cackle for me. Yeah, we'll cover some things. Diana, do you have anything to say? I think we're sort of doing this one semi-live again. So
I agree. I mean, it's just lackluster. I want more drama. Yesterday's episode was pretty decent. Was it yesterday at this point? It was, right? Leslie?
No, yeah, it was just like I was just laughing. That's all I've been doing is laughing at these episodes because they've been funny. I think the drama with the whole Derek thing has settled down a little bit, even though it's still affecting people. But and that might be why there's again some of the stuff that's just kind of funny, because maybe they don't want it to continuously be heavy, which I like that. Now, I will say today's episode was amazing because Ashley was not in it. So for that part,
I mean, they still brought her up. They were still like, how's our girl doing? Our girl needs care. And it's like, for what?
That's what I'm just like, But at least we get a break from Ashley thinking about Derek, but I'm sure it will start back up tomorrow or Friday. So we'll see how that goes.
Why would you speak that into existence? You're usually a positive person, so this actually surprises me, where I'm like, why would you say this?
Well, I don't know. Maybe when she does come back, she'll be preparing for a vacation and be gone again. Like she has to go on a sabbatical to process her grief, and then we won't see her.
Okay.
How about that? That'll work.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and open with this first scene because I do have some words about this on multiple levels. Let's jump into it.
Well, look at that. The world did not tilt off its axis while we were loving it up in the Bowman for 2 blissful nights.
When did we stop dipping out for our rendezvous?
When the girls left the nest and we naively thought that it was ours. Remember Emerson?
Oh, how could I forget?
We told the girls that we had to visit your cousin Emerson for a few days when really we were
renting that room down by the bay. Hey, those stays were always for 3 days.
What, are you saying we're slipping?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe we should go back to that room and defend our record.
Or we could resume upstairs.
Resume?
Oh, you're talking with your hands now.
Nicole.
I went upstairs looking for you.
Well, now you found us.
You do know that the elevator isn't soundproof.
Oh, please don't tell me that you're blushing too. Now, I expected that from Cat and Martin when they walked in on us, but you certainly know that were it not for your father and I getting...
I get the gist. I am just as sex positive as your next daughter. Except, just to confirm, we don't have a cousin Emerson at all.
Now you know, my darling girl.
Well, so much for all those lectures about truth-telling.
Baby, your presence here is proof that our little subterfuge was warranted.
How is it that we couldn't get any privacy back then, and now, umpteen years later, we still can't?
You don't want to.
Yeah. This just really annoys me. And this just lets me, and when I think about these things and continue to traverse through life, it just lets me know I'm more than likely I won't get married because I am such a moody person that I just don't feel like being bothered with people. And when she said, "Oh, I went upstairs," girl, what you doing going upstairs? Like, if they're not on the first floor, stay your ass on. See, let me. If they're not available, when you walk through the door, you don't go wandering around the house. I don't care if you are their daughter. You don't live there anymore. That is their house. You're always welcome as their child, but you just don't go wandering through the house where you don't live. Just like if Anita and Vernon came to Nicole's house, they shouldn't go wandering through the house and doing that. If Nicole's not in the living room, if they happen to show up, door unlocked, then it's like that's where you wait at, and then you pick up your cell phone and say, "Hey, I'm in the living room. I'm here. What's going on?" Type thing. Why are you wandering through the house, going upstairs to the bedroom or this or that to have a conversation with them? That makes absolutely no sense to me. But anyways, yeah, Anita and Vernon just can't seem to get any peace. And I'm glad Vernon clocked it when he said that and looked at her like, "Why are you here?" So yeah, Diana, you got it.
I think you had tweeted out like something like what they should have done was just send a group text to be like, "We're busy. Don't come knocking on this door." And by that logic, I'm just like, do they have to do that all the time? Like, are they just always busy? Like, they're always just getting freaky? Like, what is this? But good for them. Good for them that they're happy. And I'm low-key kind of surprised they only have 2 children. I think, actually, this is a very much a tangent, but I think this show would have actually done better with like a 3rd sibling, not just Danny and Nicole. I think they would have done well with the son. And I don't say like it's not like a regret because it didn't happen, but I think the show would have been better structured with a 3rd family, and I think it would have been, I don't know, like more to work with, so to speak. If they did it because of budget, whatever, I understand, but I don't know. This just reminded me because I'm just like, damn, they've been doing it like just every single day at this point from from everything they're saying.
Yeah, well, I
So,
mean, they're happy to see each other again, or well, not see each other, but you know what I mean, is then have their happy fun time, as some people like to call it, moment and stuff. And yeah, I think you're right on that. It would have been nice to have a 3rd sibling, more than likely. The only reason I can think of that they didn't was because of Anita and her life pursuits. Because I know she stopped, I won't say touring or whatever, but she did decide to be a mother. When she officially stopped with her career, like when she retired, that would be interesting to check. But I feel like maybe the 3rd child was because Anita still has certain obligations that didn't allow her to have a 3rd child. But what I would like is for them to introduce siblings of Vernon and or Anita, because we haven't met any of their siblings.
true. I mean, I don't know. Do we know if they even have siblings?
Yeah, that's the thing. So that would be a nice introduction, because if you have siblings, usually there are children, there's cousins and stuff.
It would be a good, maybe they're saving that. Like, let's, fingers crossed, everybody. Let's hope for this kind of storyline. But I mean, I hate it because it's very patriarchal. That's, I don't know. I'm too tired to say anything correct this tonight. But if you think about it, none of their daughters carry the family name, right? The Dupree name is dying with Vernon, unless Kat gets a name change, or like Chelsea gets a name change. But there is no Dupree last name here. It's Richardson and Hamilton. So if there was a sibling, that had sons, I think that would be like a good like antagonist, right? Like the true Dupree line.
Yeah, that, or And see, you know what, you're giving me an idea now. Doing that in the, I guess you could say the true Dupree that left, where there was an antagonistic relationship, like if Vernon had a brother,
Hmm.
there was an antagonistic relationship between them. Not that they're just mortal enemies or anything, but they're not cool like that for whatever reason. So yeah, I could totally see that.
See,
I
because
could see
like,
it.
sorry, just a tidbit about me personally.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think I ever want to get married, but if I do, I don't want to change my last name. Like, all that paperwork, hell no. Like, no. Just- I don't think there's any person out there that's gonna make me want to go to the social security office to change my name, to get new documents, to get a new license. Like,
Oh yeah, it's a process. Trust me,
you
I've been
it
through
has to be
it.
if I may that love never find me. I don't want to be going to the DMV. I don't know. Knock on wood. The whoever, if I end up with someone, they're fine with that, because hell no.
Yeah, it's 2026. I'm sure people don't make that to be such a big deal anymore. Maybe like if it was the children, then that's different. But the actual marriage, I don't think
Right.
many would care. So yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move on here. Opening. That's Shanice talking to Monica. You know what? Let's just go ahead and do this one here with Eva and Ted. Okay. Oh, that's a good steal too. So we're not playing this scene. Long story short, Eva is dealing with grief, even though she only knew Derek for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. But she's dealing with grief in regards to Derek, because just certain things make her think about him, because she explains to Ted that she's never really lost anyone before. And Ted was like, well, what about your stepfather, Alan? And Eva was like, I wasn't close to that man. So she's processing, and Ted is talking to her, walking her through it, which this is the interaction I like to see Ted have with his children, where he's giving the advice. And we'll get into the other scene soon enough with him and Martin, because that just whatever. But at least with this whole Eva thing, he did give some solid advice, and she's balancing the clinic and working for her father and F-boy. But because the clinic has taken up so much bandwidth, it's creating a little bit of an issue. But she's so dedicated to it because she doesn't want to let the community down, and Eva doesn't want to let Derek down, because Derek put so much into it and did such a great job running the clinic, even though Derek was only running the clinic for like 3 minutes and 18 seconds. But these are minor details. Diana, you got it.
Did you have a stopwatch by any chance? They were very precise timestamps you had there, but I like grief works in a weird way, right? Like, I know we've been like hating on Ashley because it's like, did he even love that man? Like, what are you crying about? But like, I do want to be like, okay, I guess, like, yeah, you're right. Grief does affect us all differently, yada yada. I like this conversation too. I mean, again, it's like Ted does have a backstory here, right? Like, he lost his, I think, only brother. I think that was his only brother. Like, this is his lane, like, think you don't have to go like you said, you don't have to go asking every other person, like, can you talk to them for me? He could have, again, same conversation that he had with Shanice, right? Like, I don't know why he thinks he can't have these conversations, or why he just instantly passes it off to someone else. But we got here. Finally, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think low key, there might be a self-esteem thing there as well, because of everything that happened with Nicole. where you know how sometimes some people feel like they just can't say the right thing because no matter what they say, it will be, you know, criticized or whatever. There may be some of that there where it's just like, I messed up with Nicole and it seems like I just can't say the right thing when I interact with her or other people ever since then. And maybe he's just not as quick. And this is just me speculating and psychoanalyzing and stuff. But yeah, that there may be some of that going on too. But I thought he gave like some solid advice to Eva. Yeah, upward and onward. Let's see, where are we at now on this? Okay, this was funny to me. We have to play this scene. Let's see. I can get it there. All right, it's about to fade out. Cool.
I have a deadline and I can't even hear myself think.
Let's go for a classic selfie. Come on, babe.
Okay, well, what if the queen and the knight were equally free to roam around the board?
They aren't.
Right.
Well, the least they can do is enjoy the game.
I'll call you back.
Really unfair. A good boyfriend would be supportive.
That's right. Pack it up.
Let's relocate someplace with better lighting.
Bye, brother-in-law. Good luck, Dad.
Tyrell.
We'll keep the door open.
If you're upstairs, I'm gonna be thinking about parenting.
Okay.
Happy now?
The beauty of the mobile phone is it's mobile.
You're lucky I have plans on tap.
Mwah.
You got this. Love you.
I am beyond flattered that the Duprees.
Smitty was like, if you Negroes don't get out of this house so I can get my work done. I had to say it that way. I can't say it the other way because it'll be a YouTube community violation. We'll end up with a community guideline strike on the channel.
Ty does not appreciate that kind of language. PMG, I am not associated.
You know I had to go there, but see, like, get out the house. I'll try to get stuff done. Everybody just running around talking and stuff. I can't deal with all this loudness. So go. And then kick Martin out. The beauty of a mobile phone is that it's mobile. So Smitty and his little clapbacks.
It just seems everybody in the Dupree family has an issue with people being in their house. And see, I think there was like a news article or something, like someone asking Whoopi Goldberg like why she was married. And I think her response was like, I don't want a stranger in my house. Or I don't want someone in my house. And that's how I low-key feel.
Yeah.
This is how he's feeling. He's like, I need to get, like, I am paying the bills here. Y'all need to leave. And it's like his own husband and children. But, you know, minor things.
Yeah, I just like, I thought it was so funny. Because I didn't play the part before that, but the way they were running around and stuff and the noise in the background with Tyrell talking to Jessica and then Samantha, Kat, and Chelsea doing their thing and then Martin on the phone and he's just like.
I thought they were going to get into it with like Tyrell and Jessica because when they're filming their little content and I'm like, damn, you can't hear them like arguing about chess. Like, what is this? Like, I thought you guys were professionals. There's no noise canceling. Yeah, I don't know. This scene was a trip.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and we will move. The Anita and Nicole conversation, I am doing my best to figure out where, because when I tell you Anita kept clocking Nicole throughout the entire time, basically like calling her out. And I'm just like, let's see what this one is. Because there was like 4 scenes of this conversation with Anita and Nicole. And I'm like, okay, take it back. There we go. All right, let's see where this one's at. We'll play this one.
About Ted.
Oh, ignore that detour. We'll blame it on this emotional ringer of a week. You were saying about the hospital.
That we need a clean slate over at Garland, and we have the perfect candidate.
Dr. Monica McCormick.
And we've already pitched it to her.
But she's not 100% on board yet.
Excellent
conversation
choice.
wasn't this one.
And she's
Sorry,
as
not to
far away
interject,
from this
but
blood ring corruption as you can
because Vernon wasn't in there. Like the heart to heart was just with those two. So I think it goes down the line. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, try. Well, they're right there. So that's when he up and left. I was like, I didn't know if it would start picking up then with him or not. Let's see. A smidge. Oh, you know what? This is where the you know what? I'm gonna come back to that. Let's get this thing going with them. Okay, let's try this.
I'm just annoyed with Ted for interfering, for whatever the reason.
I saw you making eyes at each other at the cotillion.
It wasn't... Okay, I will admit he has been in my head lately.
And what sparked that?
Kat's birthday. The plan was for us not to be there together, but that's the way it worked out.
Then?
Our non-anniversary. I went to his office, you know, as a friendly step towards being good exes.
And?
Samantha's cotillion. 3 pivotal moments that we planned for years to spend together. But now, we're both present, but so not together. I thought I was mastering this single woman life thing like a boss, but...
You hear a piece of music that belonged to the two of you. You get mail with his name on it. You see your beautiful granddaughter cross the floor at her cotillion, and you're not holding his hand like you imagined it.
Yes, all of that.
Reconciling loss is one of life's most difficult feats.
I'm not just waxing on about what might have been. There has been a tension between us in the present.
Sexual tension?
Mother, not everything is about sex.
Except in this case. That's exactly what it's about, isn't it?
We want to
I'm gonna sit over to the side and let her whack Nicole one more time for me. Mother, not everything's about sex, but in this case, this is exactly what it's about. So Anita knows. She knows. I really like this blunt conversation that they had. And it's very much needed. And I'm glad Shanice interrupted Nicole before she said what she said, because I feel this conversation with Anita gave Nicole a little bit more clarity as to how she wants to approach talking to Ted. And also, I feel Anita held up a mirror and said, this is you. There were some things that Nicole was running from, and fully acknowledging what the situation was. And now I think it's a thing of, what does Nicole want to do? And again, I've said it once, I said it again. Everybody, you just need to accept Nicole made a mistake divorcing Ted. And I'm standing on it and I'm sticking to it. And with this, with Anita holding up that mirror, it's got her thinking. So, Diana, you got it.
I still don't agree. I think she would always be unhappy and always be doubtful because Ted has proven himself to be a liar and keep things from her on multiple occasions. I think she misses her life, but I think that's different from like wishing that she didn't get divorced, right? I think she just misses maybe like the simplicity of it and knowing how things were and how she thought her life was and all structured and perfect family and all that. Which I think, again, I think it's a lot different. And I think it's just going to take one special person maybe, or one moment in her life for her to be like, oh, you know what? I don't need Ted. It's just that I just don't think it's Kyle and I don't think it's Carlton. So I think that's why she's still searching, right? Or she's like reminiscing. Like she's just bored right now. That's what I feel like. When you're bored, you're like, sorry, go ahead. No. I think it's boredom. But what do you say to that?
Well, one thing, when you brought up Kyle and Carlton, that was the other thing. I'm glad you brought that up during this conversation. I was a little bit upset because it seemed like Anita was endorsing F-Boy. And I'm just like, wait a minute, Anita, because when Nicole was saying what she was saying, and she was like, I'm whatever dating now, and I thought I had this figured out. And Anita's like, yeah, Kyle fit like a glove at the, what was it, Easter dinner or whatever it was that he went to. And it was a thing of Nicole's like, yeah, I feel carefree or something like that. And then Anita was like, well, what about Carlton? And Nicole's like, well, there's layers and this and that. And then Anita was like, well, have you decided who you're taking to the event, Carefree or Carlton? And when she basically heard not saying Kyle's name, felt like she was endorsing Carlton by just referring to Kyle as Carefree. And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I read into it wrong or wrongly. But I just was like, why are you endorsing F-Boy? And why aren't you saying Kyle's name? So, yeah. Yep. I mean, did you have any thoughts on that? Like, did you feel she was endorsing F-Boy?
I didn't read much into it of who she was endorsing, but more so like you kind of have to make a choice. Like it almost seemed like she's like, okay, you had fun with your harem, but who are you gonna take to the next big event? Like I think that's how we ended off, right? Like who are you gonna take to the fundraiser?
Who knows? Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised and she'll take Ted.
He's probably gonna be there, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, he'll have to be because it's Martin's event.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I forget that they're I forget. I'm so sorry, y'all. I forget that they're father and son because they only have a conversation once a year.
That's a good segue. That's a good segue. Let's speak in the conversation. Oh, this was a mess. Let's see. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and play this conversation between father and son, even though you wouldn't realize it based off of the content of the conversation, but these are minor details. Let's get into it.
Ah, you're early. Am I benefiting from a canceled donor call? Put me down for 2 fundraiser tickets, by the way.
It's already done. But I did get a bit of an assist getting here. Did Mom ever kick you out of the house?
You know how I ended up at Bowman, right? Is this your roundabout way of saying you and Smitty are having problems again?
More like Smitty's in the throes of his latest story.
Well, whenever your mother saw a particular patient with a sensitive issue at the home office, I kept myself scarce.
Mom takes doctor-patient confidentiality very seriously.
Well, Smitty's journalistic integrity is just as important.
And it's good he has an understanding husband.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't know. What is up with your mom?
I'm just annoyed with Ted for interfering.
So he's checking the deal with Nicole, and we will continue this conversation. I'm looking for it to where it picks back up.
No, hey son.
All right.
Are you worried
Yeah, I know.
about your campaign?
Because it's like, okay, let's take it from there.
So, are you just going to wait for these sexual musings to pass?
I thought we were in a good place at Kat's birthday party and even our anniversary. But lately, Nicole has been running colder and colder. I mean, she's kicking me out of conversations one minute, the next minute, she can't get away from me fast enough. But I could tell you, for a split second, she looked at me like she did before we fell apart.
I did catch a vibe, but I chalked it up because of all the love that was flying around in the moment.
I couldn't take it anymore. I went to his office to confront him.
And were you going to talk down this fever or sweat it out?
Mother!
She came to my office wanting to talk to me about something that started around the time of our anniversary.
I didn't know what I would say or do next. But before I could find out, Shanice was there.
Saved by the girlfriend.
Then Nicole took off, and I don't know what she was thinking.
I think it was a sign. Or a reminder.
Of?
That Ted and I are completely and totally done.
I know your mother, and when her walls go up, scaling them could be damn near impossible.
Maybe Mom's signals mean there's an opening. Or not.
Yeah, I don't know what would be waiting for me there.
Where does Shanice fit?
We're good, and after a few bumps...
Look, I just hate to see you potentially lose something that could be great. Because you're chasing something that may never be the same.
When I tell you that was a word that Martin
This was a
gave
very
him,
good scene. How both conversations were happening at the same time. I like when storylines tend to do that. You get two sides of the same story.
yeah, that was good. But also them doing that scene let me know again that they're setting it up for them to get back together. That's what that scene gave me. Like, okay, they're setting this up for them to get back. Another sign. So yeah, but with Martin,
You're being
saying,
really negative today.
I'm just going by the facts. And this, like, usually if people are laying it out like that, especially the way they just laid this out, I really feel they're setting this up for them to get back together. That's what that is. But like with Martin giving what he gave, basically saying like, you're trying to chase the past, but doing so will possibly sabotage your future, is pretty much what Martin is saying, where you may be missing out something great just because you're missing Nicole. And that is very true. Sadly, though, I don't think either one of them will be able to continue to fight their feelings. So either they need to just go ahead and sleep together and get it out of their system, and then see after the fact, are there still any emotional, or is there still enough there left emotionally and everything else where they can reconcile? Or is it just a thing of they need to get the sexual tension out and then continue on with their day in their lives? So yeah, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, Diana, or not.
I don't know if it's so quick about just letting it out. If I was Shanice, I'd be like, I'm not letting you out anything. I I mean, I think I see where you're coming from, because essentially that's what Vanessa's horrible advice was. So congrats, you and Vanessa, you know, are qualified to be Nicole's best friend, which is basically just tell him, right? Just tell him how you're feeling and let it out and you'll be free. But I just think it's like unfair. Ultimately, I think it's unfair to Ted, right? Because Nicole I think she just wants to get it on, or God knows what, right? And she's just going to leave Ted confused and with hope. Because I'm coming from the position that she ultimately does not want to get back together with this man. She's just bored, and she just wants to go back to like when her life was a little bit more simple. So her doing this and giving him a false sense of hope, I think is just mean. Why would he tell that to your ex? Like, why be messy like that? So
Yeah, it is messy. Don't get me wrong. If she's doing this without a plan of what happens next, then it can be very messy, because it's not fair to anybody. It wouldn't be fair to her, it wouldn't be fair to Ted, it wouldn't be fair to Shanice. So, and then also, side note, if there is fallout between Nicole, Ted, and Shanice, trust and believe, Monica will not like that. And that will be very awkward, with Monica being the boss of all of them.
it's almost like we shouldn't have like family relations at Garland Memorial. Not everywhere, but I'm not saying everywhere. I'm just saying they couldn't find someone else to be the director or what have you. It had to be Shanice's aunt.
Yeah, that's what they were running with. And I'm just like, okay, well, this will be an interesting dynamic, because if Ted messes up, I can't wait to see what Monica will do. Will she be able to maintain professionalism and treat everyone the same still, even after the fallout? Or will she put her finger on the scale and get retribution for her niece?
I mean, she already didn't stick up for her niece. She was just like, my niece is scared. Let me talk to her. It wasn't Ted's fault. Like, come on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like, we'll see. Okay, so I think we're wrapping this up now. I'll briefly cover this. So the Samantha and Tyrell thing, not Samantha. Why do I keep saying Samantha and Tyrell? The Jessica and Tyrell thing, ew. The Jessica and Tyrell. I don't know what Tyrell is expecting from Jessica, but low key, I feel like Jessica might be an Aquarius, because she's very, very carefree and in a very rebellious soul. So it wouldn't surprise me. And if Jessica is an Aquarius, Tyrell, I can tell you right now, you're not gonna lock her down anytime soon. She got a life to live, and she's gonna live it to its fullest. That's how they are. So yeah, I feel that he just needs to go ahead, and quiet as it's kept. Like, she's already kind of given too much away, basically complimenting him on his skills in the bed. So
After
like,
one day, y'all. This is 17-year-old boy. After one.
They messed around twice now, but she said that he's the natural, which is fine. But it's kind of like, if I were Tyrell, and it's like, well, wow, and you can tell Jessica isn't the type to just say something to make someone feel good. So it's like, okay, well, if she's saying this, we can take this to the bank. Let me go ahead and build up my horror and get that going. So, because I'm just gonna be like, all right, if you going off to UCLA and you feeling, basically you're saying that we're not in a relationship, you want to date other people. Okay, bet, I got it. You do you, I do me, we cool. But for right now, you can be the main girlfriend, and I'm gonna have to have my side pieces, and that's gonna be what it is. Because if you're not looking to commit, I'm gonna be outside.
This is why this whole thing of like, well, he's gonna be out the house, or he's like of age, and all this like leeway that you, Martin, Smitty, were giving him, like, doesn't make sense to me. Because ultimately, he's still just a teenage boy. Like, he's not mature enough to like, in the sense that he's still hoping, like, he would change his whole future or try to change Jessica's future, you know, just for a little hanky panky.
No, I don't think it's just sex. I think that he really cares about her and wants to be with her. What I'm saying is that clearly that's not what Jessica wants. Jessica wants to be outside. And because she's saying all this other stuff, oh, like we'll talk all the time and this and that. Girl, when you get to Los Angeles, you're gonna be outside. Let's just call it for what it is. And that's
she
fine.
should. As she should.
Okay, Diana, not supporting what's that, relationships and marriage in the youth.
In the youth. Not for a young woman and a young man, because it's also you know, growing into their own in a new environment, you know, as young adults, finding their way and finding their identity. Absolutely not. No, sir. No.
Well, everyone is different. My parents got married young and stuff. You know, it worked out for them and everything. And honestly, back at that time, a lot of people used to get married young too. And it held together longer back then because people didn't have as many options back then. And not saying that if there were options, well, then again, maybe if there were options, my parents wouldn't have made it. Who knows? But it's one of those things. What? Huh? No, I'm just okay. So see, now I didn't want to go on a tangent, but we about to extend this for about 10 minutes. So for my gators, just get ready, because we're about to go there right now. So it's like you might have to pick up the episode later, because if you got other things going on, I get it. But this is my thing when it comes to relationships and marriage. The reason that nothing works now, well, not nothing, the reason that a lot of things don't work now when it comes to relationships is people have options when it comes to interacting with other people. You did not have as many options back in the day when it came to relationships because you didn't have the access. You didn't have Tinder or Grindr or this or that, where you could meet people and all of this other stuff. At one point, I think it was like maybe 15 so years ago, because I had read this article, and it was like 25% of relationships, like the meeting and stuff, was happening online at that time. I haven't checked the numbers since then, but I guarantee you it's over 50% now of people meet online versus meeting at a coffee shop for the first time or in a grocery store or this or that. My parents met at the skating ring. That's right. Is anybody meeting at the skating ring now? Absolutely not.
Oh, that's so sweet. I want to meet someone at the skating rink.
So
I can't skate,
like it's just different. The other thing too that I realize, and especially because I've been dating someone as well, is that people don't feel the necessity to be in a relationship anymore. It's kind of like, and because everything's so transactional these days, it's kind of like, okay, I might have a roommate, I might have this, I might have that. But for those who can stand alone and still pay all of their bills and this and that, because don't forget, relationships overall are usually about resources. It's not always just about love. It's not like, oh, I love you, and I want to spend my life with you. That was back then. And even up to a certain degree, it's still about resources, because as you know, with women were considered chattel at that time. And it was like resources would be exchanged because this woman is marrying this man. And he's taking her on and this and that. And parents and you have the dowry and everything else. So at one point it was about resources somewhat, but people are very self-sufficient now for the most part. I know you hear the things that are going on about the economy and this and that and everybody being broke. However, if you look at back then versus now and what resources were available back then versus now, people do have a much better advantage with standing on their own versus back then, especially for women. Women could not necessarily stand on their own back then, but now women are pretty much running the world. You're seeing high-powered executives, CEOs, things like that. You're seeing women not looking to necessarily stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. And there's nothing, one or the other, there's nothing wrong with that, because there are women who like being stay-at-home moms. Even my mother said that she wishes that she would have done that at the very beginning in our younger years versus us being in kindergarten and stuff, and going to daycare and everything, and her working, because my mother would work a lot too, and so would my dad. My dad worked 2 full-time jobs for a while before I was born. But it's just, things are different, and people don't have to, I hate to say this because it sounds mean, people don't have to put up with other people's stuff, because when you're living with someone, it's totally different than dating. And I've even gotten to a point where I don't think I would want to live with someone. I'm fine with dating and getting to know and, you know, long-term partner or whatever, but getting married and living with someone, I enjoy my space. And living with someone is a lot. Dealing with someone's baggage, if they have a family that has baggage, because you know the family drama, that can be a lot, because you're taking all of that on when you're in a relationship with them. And that's why a lot of people are single, because they want their peace. That's what that is now. I don't necessarily agree with people getting married young anymore. However, that was the thing back then. But again, I went off on a tangent. Diana, you can pick this up and run with it, I guess.
Yeah, just, you know, for a lot of reasons. I mean, you know, for the Gators out here, I live in Southern California, and the running joke is always that, like, here people become first-time parents like in their late 30s. Meanwhile, you know, you go into the middle of the country and people are like grandparents by that time. And again, nothing wrong with having children at a young age or having at a later age, but I think that also like warps my view with them just like 18. You're just a baby. Like, you still have your whole life ahead of you before you start locking it down and doing all this. So like, you know, that was my bias, I guess, if you want to say that, for Jessica and for Tyrell. It's just like, when you're like young love, no, there is no young love. Like, you need to go out, you need to become your own person. And yeah, I mean, the whole space situation, I mean, that's how I am. I don't like, so there's like another tangent, but there's like a creator that I sometimes watch, and I wish I could remember her name, but she is a mother's helper. Like, that's her whole thing. And she's so efficient, and she's like, watch what I can do in 2 hours and all that. And she sometimes shares about her life, and she lives with her boyfriend, but they have separate rooms. And I'm just like, yeah, I can maybe tolerate that. You know, she's just like, yeah, we have our own spaces, and that's what works for us. And it's just like, you know, we love each other, obviously, but it's just like, we have our own space.
Well, I'm not mad at that. And again, I mentioned that before. My grandmother told me people can grow to love each other. You don't necessarily have to love each other and be deeply, madly, truly in love at the very beginning. It's something that it can grow over time. So it's just, relationships are complicated because you deal with so many different personality types and so many different variables when it comes to family, health, whatever. Like, there's just so many things you deal with. It's just, yeah. So for these two, I'm fine with them doing their own thing. I just need Tyrell to get into that same energy Jessica's in, because if he doesn't, he's going to get his heart broke. Full stop. Okay, let's get to Samantha right quick, and then we can close this on out, because, yeah. Do this. Okay, great. All right, let's go.
It's been almost a year since we roped you into Chelsea Cat. Ground floor. And since then, we've gone nowhere but up, up, up. We're in Fenmore's. We've got the Tokyo Fashion Collective brewing, and our new purse design that we can't wait to unveil.
Wait, how have I not seen this? It's gorgeous. Oh my god, what are you gonna call it?
That's up to you.
I get to name it?
Yep. And let us know what you decide. It's for the girl coming into her own. She's part of a sisterhood. She's a friend. She's got history. And she's ready to make some too. Wait, did we break her?
Samantha, speak.
I love it. Thank you, Aunt Kat and Chelsea. I never felt more like I was one of you.
You didn't need a bag for that.
Oh, yes, I did.
Come here.
Thank you, guys. I love you.
I'm proud of you.
You know the comment I was gonna make.
I'm listening.
Watching this again is that yesterday you were like, doesn't Kat have like stuff to do? Isn't she a designer? And like, look at her naming all the stuff and keeping it composed and under pressure and being successful. And look at you doubting her, despite the fact that you basically are the same person. It's just when you got it, you got it. You just got it on lock and you're efficient. I'm not that kind of person. I think you are. So I don't know why we're questioning Kat and her ability to multitask, just because some people can't, me included, you know, just letting a whole community down. Get no shade because I'm calling myself out here. But again, when you got the skills, you got the skills.
Well, I can tell you that I'm very happy for Samantha. I think with Chelsea and Kat thinking of her like that, that's always good. Definitely Kat cares about Samantha a lot because Samantha is Kat's niece. So I can see her, even if Kat didn't have the bandwidth to do something like this, I can see her making the bandwidth, like freeing it up to make sure that her niece feels special too. So this was a sweet moment. And I don't doubt Kat's skills. Kat is a very capable person. I've never doubted her necessarily when it comes to that. It's just kind of like, you're doing a lot.
Again, coming from you.
I know, it's, living the life in 2026, which is halfway over, which is crazy to me.
Oh my God, don't tell me.
I know, right? My birthday's in a few weeks. Imagine that. So, all good. But I love what they did for Samantha, and I'm curious to see what happens with Samantha next. I feel like there'll be some big things for her. I'm about to stop sharing my screen. I feel like Samantha eventually, what road they take Samantha down, I just feel Samantha is a bigger personality than how can I say this? She hasn't received her moment yet. I feel like Platinum Deb was just the beginning. I honestly believe that Samantha can be as big as Chelsea or Danny. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, I think I like her. Once she finally gets that leeway, that magic number, once she's 6 months away from graduating and she's suddenly adult, apparently in the in her household.
Well, she'll get out. Don't forget, Danny went into the industry at 17. All right. Yeah, it was 17. So yeah. Yep. Well, let's see what happens. All right. That was a nice little episode that we did. Gators, thank you again for all the love. We appreciate it. We're, again, still working on ideas, trying to get things out. Definitely don't forget, coming this weekend, part 2, an invitation to the wedding anniversary from hell. If you haven't watched part 1, be sure to check it out. And part 2 will be available this Saturday, which it was a really, really good episode, just going back over things. Be on the lookout for that. And be on the lookout for a few other little things that might be popping up here and there. Diana, did you have anything?
I can't wait for next week. I want some drama.
Well, we will be here for it all, and we will be covering it. Don't forget, with this, we may be the unofficial Beyond the Gates podcast, but we are the official Beyond the Gates fans hangout. And there, to my understanding, there isn't any other channel, any other podcast that does what we do, according to some research, and also as a comment from ChatGPT. According to ChatGPT, we're basically like a sports podcast, where we break down all the plays and the analysis and all this other stuff. And it doesn't seem like there's anything like that for Beyond the Gates right now on a regular basis, like what Diana and I have been giving. And we wouldn't be able to have come this far without your support. So thank you so much. And yeah, I think that's it. Until next time, everyone.
Bye.